Hi, SMEEA members. This is Kristen Lore, your president of SMEEA. I'm glad to be with you today on Veterans Day because we can thank all of our veterans and the families that gave sacrifices as well. We're so fortunate in this country to have all the freedoms we have because of our veterans. Shout out to the USA, yay. I also want to thank the negotiations team for their tireless work on getting us our $1,300 off schedule one-time bonus. One-time bonuses are great, but not as great as the 1% on schedule. The $1,300 can help offset some of those insurance expenses that we have with the increase in our rates. And the on-schedule 1% can help us in long term. Thank you so much for negotiations team and Jonathan B.A., their chair, for that work. I'd also like to thank you for accomplishing your first trimester, because we have all these families anxious to meet you and come in and hear some little tidbit and wonderful little thing about their kiddos and the students we serve. They're lucky to have you. I know our parents work tirelessly for so much for their kids, and that's so important to them. And I know they're anxious to meet you and hear some good things that they've got going. And just know that they do want to help as much as they humanly can. I'd also like to bring you up to date about our re-election for our executive director for elementary school. We'll be running that election starting next week. There'll be a second posting of their candidacy statements, and ballots will come out too. And speaking of ballots, you get your ballot through Simply Voting. But in order to get the best results from Simply Voting, you need to make sure your MailChimp email is up to date. That's your private email we use outside of the district setting. And then if you include MailChimp as one of your contacts, then you'll make sure you get the MailChimps, and we move that MailChimp list over to Simply Voting when it's time to vote. So thank you for checking on that. And I'm going to turn this over to Jose Rodriguez. Here you go, Jose.
Thanks, Kristen, for the election update, even though the word election still causes me to weep uncontrollably. So you'll have to excuse me. I think I can get through this. The 2024 local election results are in. Ricardo Valencia, whom we endorsed, won re-election. And Linda Cordero was also re-elected, though we endorsed her challenger, James Ramel. John Hollinshead also won re-election, though we did not make an endorsement in that trustee area. And we are also very excited that Measure K passed. We look forward to the district building additional facilities, classrooms, campuses, and making upgrades and modernizations to the existing facilities. It was great to see such unity of purpose between SMEEA and SMBSD, as well as numerous community organizations, to get this measure passed for our students. Boy, nothing can get between us now. On that note, Jonathan, our negotiations chair, just spoke at the October 23rd school board meeting to sunshine the articles we will be negotiating in the upcoming bargaining cycle. That's right. We wrapped up the last cycle and are on to the next. Let's take a look at his comments from the meeting.
The articles we'd like to open this year, beyond salary and benefits, are Article 7, safety, and Article 13, class sizes, along with any items covered under a memoranda of understanding or side letter. Further, I'd like to say that it was a nice collaborative effort that we had last cycle, and we are excited at the prospect of continuing that as we go forward in this cycle. Finally, I'd just like to say that we're excited to find out what the district is intending to sunshine to as we head into negotiations tomorrow. So thank you for your time and consideration.
So Jonathan announced that SMEEA is opening Article 7 safety, Article 13 class size, 14 benefits, 15 salary. If you're like me, you probably took a peek at the school board meeting packet for November 13th, this Wednesday, and noticed that Pete Bland, the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, will be sunshining the district's openers. Article 5, Workday Work Year, Article 9, Evaluations, Article 14, Benefits, and 15, Salary. We can expect a negotiations update on November 21st. So stay tuned for ways that you can be engaged. It is our collective strength that gives our team power at the bargaining table. And since it's been a while, I want to take this time to introduce the new faces of our executive board. As you may recall, we went through a process of restructuring our leadership team last year to be more inclusive of the various roles our members have throughout the district. Of course, you're familiar with Yvonne Duran, our secretary, Allison Alpa, our treasurer, Jose Rodriguez, that's me, our third vice president, Marissa Perez, our second vice president, Luke Lore, our first vice president, and Kristen Lore, our president. But there are new folks, new faces on the SMEEA exec board. Brian Gong, our at-large director, Jen Danowitz, our support services director, Carla Ochoa, our SPED itinerant director, Eric Voss, our junior high director, and Krista Kringle, our elementary director. Note that Krista is currently in this role, but as Kristen mentioned earlier, this position is being rerun. So stay tuned to the election timeline. We expanded our executive board to be more attuned to your needs, your voices. So please take advantage of these folks by reaching out to them for more specialized attention. Okay, I've said more than enough, so let's pass the baton over to Marissa Perez, our second vice president. Take it away, Marissa.
Thanks, Jose. Hi, everyone. Boy, has it been a while. For those that are new here, I'm Marissa Perez, your SMEEA second vice president. Nice to see everybody. And so amazing to hear all these great things happening here in our local. Allow me to keep up with a few more announcements. As you know, Jose Segura left SMEEA to become the Santa Maria Bonita School District Coordinator of Community Schools. He's been working hard to inform and educate and roll out to our community and staff what community schools are and can be for SMBSD. And SMEEA has been working hard to learn more about community schools too. We sent a team to a week-long training and intense planning event at the CTA Summer Institute. SMEEA is invested in shared decision-making with community schools, meaning we want to participate in the planning and development process with them, not just have SMBSD share the decisions that they made for us and our schools, community, staff, and students. That being said, in the coming weeks, we know that you're about to meet with most of all your families in your classes. And what better time to gather and share a little bit about community schools with them. We have a needs and assets survey that's going to help us gather information district-wide to determine where we may need to support our community. Please bring this sheet that we have for parents and have them scan it at the end of your conferences. Ask them to fill it out. It takes just a few minutes. You can even print it up and send it home if you'd like. The survey is in Spanish and English. It's the very first question. Teachers, classified staff, please fill this out too. We, SMEEA, want to hear from you. If you are interested and invested in learning more about community schools and want to take on being a part of our steering committee, please email myself or Jen Danowitz. Go back to the email where you got this link to watch the video, see our email addresses, and we'll let you know when we have our next team meeting. Our next special report is coming to you from our Director at Large, Brian Gong. He's a little busy at the moment, so I'm going to take this one on for him. He's been working really hard at guiding our equity team, recruiting members in all specializations. With that, they're holding an amazing Pizza and Perspective event on Wednesday, December 4th at Me and Ed's in Santa Maria. Go back to the email where you got this link and see the QR code and RSVP. They're going to discuss goals, have pizza and drinks, and you'll even get yourself a cool, free, equity-minded book. Can't wait. See you there, Brian. A few last reminders. We have gotten all of our SMEEA store orders for all those awesome SMEEA swag shirts. Site reps, please get in touch with me so that I can make deliveries this week and have everybody wearing our SMEEA blue logos out there on Thursdays. And lastly, we're continuing our amazing, beautiful holiday tradition of a Altrusa tree. I will have our Amazon wish list linked back into this email. So please go back, check it out. You can even Venmo me if you don't feel like shopping, and I'll do the shopping for you. Whatever you feel like donating, we appreciate it. We'll be setting up Friday, November 22nd after school at the Kia of Santa Maria. Can't wait. Thank you, SMEEA, for being the people you are. I'm always so excited to represent you all. Stay tuned for more news to you. Keep the me and SMEEA. See you next time.
And please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your calls and concerns and emails about things you think should be more fair or bolstered up in our contract. We are listening to you. We thank you for your work too, because we can't do it alone. I know our executive team works tirelessly to do things for you, but they can't do it all themselves. So your input makes all the difference. And just know when you feel a little bit stressed or strained against another member because of something that the MO may or may not have done as fairly as we could have hoped for, that instead of feeling the strife, just try to push in and be kind. And I'll try that more myself too. Thanks for your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Have a thankful November. See ya. Kristen Lore, your SMEEA president.